Welcome back to Talk of the Town on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
And we welcome you back to Talk of the Town for this Monday, March 29th. I'm Gary Stevens. We usually get a chance to chat with him and other members of the Ottawa County Road Commission on a quarterly basis, once every 3 months or so, to talk about road projects, or when we get to colder weather, about making sure roads are clear in Ottawa County. He is Alex Doty. He is the communications administrator for the Ottawa County Road Commission, and he joins us via the Zoom connection this morning. Alex, good morning and welcome back to WHTC.
Good morning. How are you today?
We are well. Hopefully all is well with the Road Commission. First of all, you can, all of you out here out listening to us, you can call us if you have a question about Ottawa County roads. Alex will be able to help you at 395-1450, 395-1450. But can we say, let's close up the salt bins for the year? Or are you still saying, hey, we might still need to get the salt out pretty soon?
You know, we have been saying, we're crossing our fingers that we don't have to open it up anymore, but never say never. But, we're thinking the longer we go without any significant snowfall, that means we're inching towards the end of this winter season, knock on wood.
Knock on wood, or knock on the knock on the linoleum around here. But the other thing is, though, and then we'll move forward to spring and summer and construction season. It has been at least two, and if you want to call this year, 3 relatively mild winters where the salt reserves really weren't depleted that much. That certainly helps the Road Commission.
Yeah, anytime you have a lighter than expected winter time, that means that there's some savings there in our winter budget that we can put toward summertime improvements along area roads, as far as routine maintenance such as mowing and various types of repair projects and tree trimming, stuff that might not otherwise get done. We have the funds to go in there and take care of that. So anytime we have a lighter than typical winter, that means other work gets done, and hopefully you'll notice that this coming spring and summer.
395-1450 if you have a question about Ottawa County roads with Alex Doty of the Ottawa County Road Commission. Construction season is underway. We'll talk about some of the projects in a few moments, but the beginning of construction season is also pothole season, and that will get crews very busy over the next month to 6 weeks.
Absolutely. This time of year when the weather is changing on us, and all the frost is coming out of the ground, and you get that cycle of freeze thaw, that can wreak havoc on roads, unfortunately, and cause potholes to pop up. So we do keep a close eye on what's reported to us, and rely on the public to obviously let us know where issues are, and then we go out there, and our crews are diligent about getting out there and patching those up and making sure that those are buttoned up so that your ride's a little smoother for you.
Quick technical question, Alex. The county has done some major work over the years to renovate some roads in Ottawa County. Some of it, of course, is state roads, but some of it are county roads as well. The new materials, the new techniques that are being used, does that cut down on potholes, or is it something that potholes are going to come no matter how innovative we can be about new ways of creating nice roads?
That's a good question, Gary. And it's one thing where obviously we're looking at what innovations are out there as far as new materials and new ways of doing things, but also being cognizant of the fact that Michigan is a unique state that does have some challenges as far as we do have that freeze thaw cycle that it does take a toll on roads. And so we are looking at research that's being done as far as how can we better use materials, and how can things be done differently than maybe they are now to build a longer lasting road. Obviously things will deteriorate over time, but anytime that, something can be done differently, or, we can use a new method or a new material, that could obviously help us out and, provide, the taxpayers obviously a better product too. So that's always something that we are looking out for.
I'm going to probably show my ignorance or my naivety on this, but I'm going to throw a couple of things that I've learned over the years that may not be true now. First of all, in the years ago, when people talked about resurfacing roads, if you resurface it with asphalt, it'll last 5 years. If we resurface it with concrete, it'll last about 15 years. Is that still a rule of thumb, or have materials improved so that maybe with asphalt it lasts longer and maybe it's a little bit of a better quality?
Different materials do have their pros and cons. A lot of it does come down to, the budget and, what makes sense economically for what we're trying to do. And so, I think that's a good question. I'm not entirely sure I have, the exact answer to that, but I do know, when we look at, how we're doing projects, we look at the material cost, and that does play a big factor into, what's put down, just because if we can get something done, with a material that's not as much, we're obviously going to go that way so we can get more done, because we're trying to get as most done for the residents of Ottawa County as we can. So we're going to use the material that does that and provides the biggest advantage.
Yeah, I just was kind of wondering, because some people say, well, we got to get this road repaved. Well, we're going to put asphalt over. It's nice and smooth. And then suddenly 4 years down the road, we don't need a chiropractor anymore for that stretch of road. But other times, get the concrete. The second one, and I have not heard too much about this, but this was something, I'm showing my age, about 20 years, 30 years ago. A lot of talk was about churning up the old concrete, getting it through the machine, and then putting it right back in. That lasts longer than pure concrete. Is that still there, or was that just a little bit of a fad from the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that it doesn't apply today?
I guess I'm showing my age, so I haven't really heard of that methodology here. So, I don't know if that's something that is done much anymore as far as, rebuilding stuff. I know they will do, for asphalt, they'll go in there and they will recycle existing pavements and put those down. And, that is a technique that is used, in other road commissions and in other areas where they will mill out existing asphalt pavement, and then it'll go back down behind that mill machine, and they call that recycled, pavement. And there are advantages and disadvantages to all these methods, and it's something that we look at very closely here, and when determining how we go about doing our projects.
And the reason why I'm bringing that up there, Alex, is the fact that I remember that discussion was being done because they were using it in Europe, and their roads are lasting longer. And maybe we need to do this on I-696 in Detroit, or along I-96 to Jeffries in Detroit. And, I don't know whether or not that really prove it out to be true. And again, Michigan is so unique because we're a peninsula and the freeze thaw cycle as well. But be patient out there when the crews are doing the resurfacing. We can now get to, correct me if I'm wrong, the hot repaving of potholes now. When it's cold, it's the cold stuff that, still lasts for a little while. Now we can do a little bit more better stuff because, for the most part, freezing temperatures are gone.
Yeah, the freezing temperatures are gone, and also the asphalt plants open back up, so we're able to get the material that provides a better long-lasting product there. The temporary patch, obviously that stuff, it'll fill a hole in the winter to ease the problem, but as soon as a plow goes over it, or a car hits it hard, all that little material will scatter, and sometimes you'll hear it ping around the bottom of your car. And so that's kind of a temporary fix. Obviously it's designed for colder temperatures, and once we have the temperatures get to a good place, we do go back out and we address potholes with the hot patch, and that provides a better fix.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question about roads in Ottawa County, Alex Doty can answer it at 395-1450. We do want to put in this, well, for lack of a better term, Alex, disclaimer. When we talk about road projects, many of the projects people see, that state projects, such as the work that's being done on the drawbridge in Grand Haven, the closing of the 3rd Street exit on northbound US 31 to Ferrisburg. That's a state project. Yes, the county is informed about what's going on, but the MDOT crews go in. That stuff, if you want to ask Alex about it, he can probably give you a couple of more tidbits, but for the most part, he knows about as much as we do on these projects.
I know, as far as you mentioned, that I know as much as everybody else does as far as what's happening, kind of the general stuff. I get to drive that on my daily commute every day, so I get to experience it too. So, that's going to be an interesting project. And like you said, we are, kind of made aware of what MDOT's doing there with that one. And then also the work going on down in Allegan County with their reconstruction on 196 there. So both ends of Ottawa County, busy work with MDOT. And, that's something that we do get kind of informed about so that we're aware of what's going on. But, if you have any big questions about some of those major projects, I'd encourage you to reach out to the folks at MDOT and they can help you out with that. They're very good with, their communication efforts as well.
John Richard, the former Grand Rapids television sportscaster, is the main spokesman for the Grand Rapids office of MDOT, and he keeps us informed not only about those construction projects, but John also, by the way, very much involved in the Zero Deaths on Michigan Roads initiative, trying to get to 0 deaths on the roadways. John and I had a discussion a few years ago, Alex, about that. And I said, it's a noble goal, but I think it's unrealistic. He says, no, I think we can get to 0 deaths. And he's very, very much a proponent of that and feels that it can happen in our lifetimes. I wish him well on that. But again, that's the discussion for another time. 395-1450, 395-1450. Before we talk about some projects in the immediate Holland area, let us talk about National Work Zone Awareness Week. It's coming up next month. What exactly will occur? What exactly will people and can us motorists do to help those who, as they say, give them a break in terms of fixing, they're fixing our roads. So sure, we don't fix them.
Yeah, that's every year the transportation agencies and various safety groups put that week together, and they highlight the importance of work zone safety every year during the springtime when you start to see more construction barrels go up and barricades and everything. And the goal of that is just to make people aware of the importance of work and the danger of work zones, and how the men and women that go out and do these jobs every day are putting their lives, quote unquote, on the line, working so close to traffic. And, unfortunately, last year we had some tragedies at some road commissions and across the state. And that just shows you the need for continued awareness about work zone safety. We hate seeing anybody injured on the job, and we want everybody to go home at the end of the day safe and back to their families, and so they can come back to work the next day. And so, the whole point of that is just to let drivers know, to slow down, take your eyes off the phone, put your eyes on the road, give yourself extra time, and, be alert of the activity that's going on. With the work that's starting up in Grand Haven and then down near Allegan County this week, and then our projects starting soon, there will be a lot more work going on. And, we just ask you to be patient and slow down and, be mindful of all the workers that are on the road.
395-1450, 395-1450. Before we take a call, I want one more caveat and sort of anticipate perhaps. The Ottawa County Road Commission is as frustrated as many of us about railroad crossings. Where you get shook up, and some of the bad ones now are on the east side of the county instead of around East Holland areas. But unfortunately, federal law says railroad crossings are the work of the railroad companies. They got to fix the crossing, and trying to convince them that, hey, we got to fix something up here when they got to worry about crossings nationwide. Sometimes it's kind of tough. So just want to give that caveat out. If you want to ask Alex about some railroad crossings, fine, but he's going to be just as frustrated as us about some of those situations. Good morning. You're on Talk of the Town with Alex Doty of the Road Commission.
What happened to Blue Star Highway? Because coming across that bridge going to Blue Star Highway, that's blocked off.
That's down in Allegan County. Because Alex is was with Ottawa County. Which bridge are you talking about? Not the bridge connecting Saugatuck and Douglas, are you?
Yeah, going underneath South Washington, you make that turn.
Oh,
right there by Crown Motors.
Yeah, they're doing some work. Really, what it is just a 2-day job where MDOT is going to do some work between US 31 and Mad Urban Drive. They're supposed to be doing some work today and tomorrow.
It looks like I got one side blocked. You can get on it.
Yeah,
you got to go off the highway on one side of it.
Yeah, it is some of the state work, and again, that's all jointly with that reconstruction of the I-196 southbound. Eventually, they're going to work from M40 all the way down to Douglas, the south end of that. So it's tied up. Hopefully, that'll be taken care of shortly. But again, that's an Allegan County project.
I thought maybe a blacktop. Looked like it was blacktopping it or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it looked like everybody's standing around now, not doing nothing.
Yeah, sometimes they have to wait for the things to cure. I think more than anything else. And I can have Alex address about the standing around and not doing anything aspect of that. But again, that's an Allegan County project. But appreciate the call. Okay. And thanks for letting us know. 395-1450. And sometimes, Alex, it might be a case of crews just standing around, but sometimes you got to let the materials do their work in terms of curing and settling in. You just can't be work all the time.
Yeah, a lot of times we do get people calling and saying, why are they just standing there looking at something or doing nothing? And sometimes they're, like you say, waiting for material to cure, or waiting for machinery to arrive or equipment to arrive, or sometimes a piece of the machinery could have broken and they're waiting for a repair crew to arrive to fix that. So there's, construction sites, a lot of moving parts, and, there is unfortunately some downtime. Like you say, they're not always go from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., nonstop. I think, as much as people would like to see that just, that's not how things work in the real world. And, unfortunately, things come up that, cause things to pause. And, I think that, you have to be kind of expectant of that to happen. So, just because you drive by it at that 1 second doesn't mean, 2 seconds later, they're not back out doing something, or you're just seeing a snapshot of what's going on. So.
I think what frustrates people, I think more than anything else, Alex, and then we'll take a break, is the fact that sometimes there are barricades put up for construction projects and nothing's being done. There's not even any workers in the area. It's like, why did they put these up right now? Can't they wait until they're actually there? And that can be, understandable frustration by motorists.
Yeah. And, a lot of times too with that is, they got to get those barricades out, and it takes time to put those up. And, if they move those back and forth every time there was, a crew out on the site, it might take them longer to set up and, tear down the closures and the barricades and the detour signs than, it would to do work. So, a lot of times it's best to leave that stuff up at the beginning and then tear it down at the end. That way, it's there. Plus, people are aware of the work that's going on, and they're constantly reminded of it. So, which in turn keeps our crews safe and keeps you safe as a motorist.
Alex, we've had over the last few years some major projects by the Road Commission resurfacing some of the major arteries that are not state trunk roads. The most notable over the last few years in the Holland area has been the Lakewood Boulevard reconstruct, which is very nice for those of us who do use it. Some of the other area roads have also gotten a resurfacing. Riley Street, another notable example. What about 2021? What projects do we have coming up in the immediate Holland area that are under the auspices of the Ottawa County Road Commission?
Yeah, so this summer we're looking at Quincy Street from 120th Avenue to 96th Avenue. That's going to be a resurface with 4-foot shoulders on the side. And then Lakeshore Drive from 168th Avenue to Lakewood Boulevard. That's going to be a resurfacing with 4-foot shoulders as well on that one. And then we're also going to be doing some Cape Seal surfacing projects on 136th Avenue from Quincy to Port Sheldon Street, and then Port Sheldon Street from Butternut Drive to US 31. And then, in the future, looking out, next year, 2022, we got Lakewood Boulevard from Lakeshore Drive to 144th. We're resurfacing that. And then 2024, we're looking at a reconstruct of Lakewood Boulevard from 144th Avenue to Butternut Drive. That's going to reconstruct that to 3 lanes and then doing some resurfacing there. So something to look forward to in a few years out. So I guess mark your calendars for that one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When you talked about the Quincy Street resurfacing, wasn't Quincy coming off of US 31 eastbound? Was stopped at the shopping center. So basically you're sort of getting Quincy now going through because of, hey, we got more commercial business up there now.
Yeah, I think that's something that's being looked at, or something. I believe that's what you're talking about. I think they're looking at doing that. Possibly making that access.
Yeah, make it a through situation as well. One final thing, keeping up with all these construction projects, it's kind of tough, but I think the commission has a new online tool for people to be aware of all these construction projects. Tell us about it.
Yeah, if you go to our website, www.ottawacorc.com, and then click on the construction project tab at the top, looking at the 2021 projects, we have a new dashboard that you can look at all the projects on a list, on a map, and then it gives you kind of a breakdown of the projects that are completed or outstanding, and then kind of keep tabs on that, and then you can click on each project and it'll zoom in on a map to where that project is, and then give you a little bit more detail about what they're doing there, and that kind of thing. So it's something new that we developed, and it's kind of a work in progress. So if people have any suggestions for it, we encourage them to reach out to us and say, hey, this might be a neat idea to add, and we'll see about trying it. But we're all about making information easier for people to obtain, and get info out there for everybody. So we're hopeful people find this tool useful.
He is Alex Doty with the Ottawa County Road Commission. Again, Ottawa CoRC is the webpage. We'll put a link to it in the description of this podcast when we put up on our webpage at WHTC.com. Another way people can keep up with what's going on with the Road Commission, like the Ottawa County Road Commission's Facebook page, you'll be able to be kept up on what is going on with the county. Alex Doty, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for answering our questions. Wish you and everybody at the commission well over the next few weeks, and look forward to chatting with you again later on this spring.
Sounds good, Gary. Have a good one.
Thank you very much, Alex Doty on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.